Top 10 Arts and Science Colleges in India 2022. The essence of both the streams lies in the theory and physical expression of creativity and rationality found in human societies and cultures. The major modules of both the arts and science streams are as deep as the ocean. However, these diverse modules provide numerous career options and opportunities to budding aspirants. So let's get started with the top 10 arts and science colleges in India for the year 2022. Kirori Mal College, Delhi, occupies the 10th spot among the top-notch arts and science colleges in India. The approved intake for the year 2020 was 1,201 UG students, while 2021 had 1,324 UG students, and this year it was 1,506. This constitutes an overall student strength of 5,911 students across all years. The faculty strength at Kirori Mal College is a fine 205, granting a much-reduced faculty-to-student ratio of 1:28. The UG program in 2020 saw a fair 83.73% of graduates. 2021 outlined a reduced graduation percentage of 82.36%, and 2022 had a good 88.33% of graduates. Now let's dive into the placement percentage, which was a minimal 7.77% students being placed in 2020, while 2021 viewed a meager placement percentage of 7.84%, and yet another meager 23.98% were placed in 2022. The median salary conferred on students in 2020 was a much lower 4.7 lakhs per annum, a figure which was higher in 2021, a median salary of 6.62 lakhs per annum, and 2022 saw a reduced yet compelling 6 lakhs per annum. Now let's look at the various NIRF parameters. For teaching, learning and resources, Kirori Mal College has scored 75.21%, 49.26% in research and professional practices, 77.03% in graduation outcomes, 78.85% in outreach and inclusivity, and finally 39.14% in perception from the public. This yields an overall score of 68.53%, ranking number 10 on the NIRF table. At number 9, Ramakrishna Mission, Vidyamandira, Howrah. The approved intake in 2020 was 207 UG students. Last year was no different, with 164 UG students. Finally, for the year 2022, the intake is 195 UG students. The institution houses 696 students across all the years. The faculty strength at Ramakrishna Mission Vidyamandira is 71, out of which an appreciable 61.97% hold a PhD. Now moving on to the faculty-to-student ratio, which is an excellent 1:9. Delving into the UG program, 2020 viewed an appreciable 97.95% of placed students, while a stellar 100% of students graduated in both 2021 and 2022. The number of students placed in 2020 was the highest at 66.67%. A reduced 18.75% was the placement percentage in 2021, and ultimately this year echoed 35.29%. The median salary offered to place students in 2020 was 2.4 lakhs per annum. 2021 had a median salary of 1.68 lakhs per annum, and 2022 stood at 2.8 lakhs per annum. Ramakrishna Mission Vidyamandira has scored 74.98% in teaching, learning and resources, 65.9% in research and professional practices, 88.1% in graduation outcomes, 29.3% in outreach and inclusivity, and lastly 44.23% in perception from the public. The blend of all of these scores confers an overall score of 69.24% and the 9th rank on the NIRF table. St. Xavier's College, Kolkata takes the 8th place among the top 10 arts and science colleges. In 2020, there were 2,170 UG students. Last year also, the approved intake was similar with 2,335 UG students, and 2022 witnessed an intake of 2,350 UG students. St. Xavier's has a massive 8,038 students in total. The number of faculty members at St. Xavier's is also an adequate 382, of which the PhD faculty percentage stands at a minimal 35.6%. The faculty-to-student ratio at St. Xavier's is 1:21. From the UG program in 2020, the number of students who graduated stood at 75.32%. In 2021, the graduation percentage was a much lower 74.75%, and an excellent 96.08% of students graduated within the minimum stipulated time in 2022. Also, moving on to the placement percentage of the UG program, 2020 observed a placement percentage of 95.46%. Last year, the number of students placed were at a slightly higher 97.56%, and finally, in 2022, it stood at a commendable 96.85%. The median salary offered in 2020 was 5.5 lakhs per annum. In 2021, placed students were presented with a slightly lower 5 lakhs per annum, and the median salary this year was a significant 5.5 lakhs per annum. St. Xavier's College has scored 65.3% in teaching, learning and resources, 50.49% in research and professional practices, 88.42% in graduation outcomes, 56.11% in outreach and inclusivity, and lastly 81.27% in perception from the public. With all of these scores under multiple parameters, St. Xavier's has attained an overall score of 69.54% and has bagged the 8th rank on the NIRF table. At number 7, we have the glorious Atma Sanatan Dharma College, Delhi. The approved intake here in 2020 was 1,179 students. The intake stood at 1,298 UG students in 2021, while 2022 saw 1,475 UG students. Atma Sanatan Dharma College has a total student strength of 4,451 across all years. Atma Sanatan Dharma College houses 257 faculty members, presenting a good 60.31% faculties with a PhD. The faculty-to-student ratio here stands at 1:17. The UG program had an escalated graduation percentage. 2020 saw 90.9% of students graduating within the minimum stipulated time. 2021 observed a graduation percentage of 93.39%, and 96.42% of students have graduated this year. What about the placement percentage? 2020 had the least number of students placed, which was 75.37%. 2021 witnessed a slightly higher percentage of 65.14%, and this year was the highest, yet a mere 74.67%. Now let's unfold the median salary offered at Atma Sanatan Dharma College. 2020 had a salary package of 3.2 lakhs per annum. This figure was slightly higher at 3.3 lakhs per annum in 2021, and the highest was 5.5 lakhs per annum this year. Progressing into the multiple NIRF parameters, Atma Sanatan Dharma College has bagged 74.18% in teaching, learning and resources, 68.02% in research and professional practices, 83.81% in graduation outcomes, 71.54% in outreach and inclusivity, and finally 24.89% in perception from the public. This grants Atma Sanatan Dharma College an exhaustive score of 70.46% and an NIRF rank of number 7. Before we proceed to the 6th premier arts and science college in India, welcome to College Suggest. All the facts mentioned in this video are directly sourced from the data submitted by the college to the NIRF for the 2022 ranking. We will leave the link in the description below. Click on the subscribe button and the bell icon to receive notifications on your favorite college details, college comparisons, courses, careers, and so much more. At number 6, we have the glorious PSGR krishnammal College for Women, Coimbatore. In 2020, PSGR housed 2,220 UG students, and the approved intake was 2,280 students for both 2021 and 2022. Considering all the students across every year, the overall student strength is a colossal 7,712. The faculty strength at PSGR is a commendable 456, out of which 58.11% of faculties have a PhD. The faculty-to-student ratio mirrors a fine 1:16. When we look at the UG program in 2020, the graduation percentage was 91.39%. In 2021, the number of students who graduated stood at 90.36%, and 89.6% graduated within the minimum stipulated time in 2022. Now let's progress into the placement percentage, which in 2020 was 83.12%. In 2021, the number of students placed was an amazing 92.29%, and this year saw the highest, which was a fab 94.24%. The median salary offered to the placed students in 2020 and 2021 was 3 lakhs per annum, and 2022 was a fair 3.8 lakhs per annum. PSGR Krishnammal College for Women has a score of 74.2% in teaching, learning and resources, 48.44% in research and professional practices, 81.91% in graduation outcomes, 64.34% in outreach and inclusivity, and finally 68.21% in perception from the public. With all of these individual scores, PSGR has achieved an overall score of 70.68% and has been ranked number 6 on the NIRF table. Coming in at number 5, we have Lady Shri Ram College for Women, Delhi. Here is the approved intake in 2020. LSR housed 878 UG 3-year students and 59 UG 4-year students. In 2021, it was 1,107 students in the UG 3-year and 61 students in the UG 4-year, and 1,048 UG 3-year students, as well as 66 UG 4-year students this year. Considering all of the students across every year, the overall student strength is a sizable 3,536. The faculty strength at LSR is a fine 155, out of which the PhD faculty percentage stands at 54.83%. Now a sneak peek into the faculty to student ratio, which stands at a mere 1:22. When we look at the UG program in 2020, the graduation percentage was 97.02%, while in 2021 the number of students who graduated stood at a fab 97.81%. and an exceptional 98.29% graduated within the minimum stipulated time in 2022. Now let's progress into the placement percentage, which in 2020 was a perfect 99.5%, while in 2021 the number of students placed was an amazing 99.39%, and this year saw a sensational 100%. The median salary offered to the placed students in 2020 was 6.2 lakhs per annum, while in 2021 it was an even higher 7 lakhs per annum, and 2022 saw a reduced 6.5 lakhs per annum. LSR has bagged 68.79% in teaching, learning and resources, 20.54% in research and professional practices, 93.03% in graduation outcomes, 75.29% in outreach and inclusivity, and finally 94.42% in perception from the public. Summing up all of these scores, Lady Shri Ram College for Women in Delhi has attained an overall score of 70.83% and has been ranked number 5 on the NIRF table. At the 4th spot, we have the illustrious Loyola College, Chennai, which proves time and time again to be the showstopper in Tamil Nadu. Loyola College noticed quite an improvement this year. In 2020, there were 2,932 UG students. 2021 noticed an escalated 2,962 UG students, and ultimately the year 2022 witnessed 2,930 UG students. The institution houses an overall student strength of 9,651 students across all the years. The secret behind any institution is the symbiotic relationship between the students and faculty members, for which Loyola College has a faculty strength of 391, out of which 55.5% of faculties are PhD holders. The faculty to student ratio stands at 1 faculty member for every 25 students. Loyola offers a graduation percentage with a steady rise from 62.85% in 2020 to 81.51% in 2021 and 81.75% in 2022. Loyola has a rising placement percentage across the years. However, the percentages aren't impressive, with 16.53% in 2020, 20.47% in 2021 and 20.71% in 2022. Moving on to analyzing the salary package. In 2020, we noticed the highest 4.5 lakhs per annum, a reduced 3.92 lakhs per annum in 2021, and the lowest median salary was in 2022 at 3.43 lakhs per annum. Loyola College has bagged 64.52% in teaching, learning and resources, 100% in research and professional practices, 62.57% in graduation outcomes, 45.48% in outreach and inclusivity, and finally 100% in perception from the public. Summing up all of these scores, Loyola has attained an overall score of 71% and has been ranked at number 4 on the NIRF table. Now we're about to unfold the most awaited moment, the ultimate revelation of the top 3 arts and science colleges in India for the year 2022. At number 3, we have the celebrated Presidency College, Chennai. Presidency College has an edge when it comes to approved intake. 1,194 UG seats were made available in 2020. In 2021, the approved intake was a consistent 1,211 UG students, while 2022 observed 1,197 UG students. The renowned Presidency College accommodates a massive 4,230 students across all years. The number of faculty members at Presidency College resounds an appreciable 251. The faculty-to-student ratio at Presidency is one that resonates with the success mantra of every student, with one faculty member for every 17 students. The graduation percentage is 70.73% in 2020, 87.02% in 2021, and 80.27% in 2022. Presidency College portrays an ebb and flow in the placement percentage from 29.1% in 2020 to 28.98% in 2021, and ultimately the highest 41.76% in 2022. The median salary at Presidency College was a fine 1.44 lakhs per annum in 2020. A reduced 1.2 lakhs per annum was furnished in 2021, and the highest being 1.5 lakhs per annum in 2022. Presidency College has scored 74.48% in teaching, learning and resources, 91.61% in research and professional practices, 63.99% in graduation outcomes, 51.16% in outreach and inclusivity, and finally 70.23% in perception from the public. With these stunning scores, Presidency College makes an overall score of 71.67% and has been ranked at number 3 on the NIRF table. At the second spot, we have the illustrious Hindu College, again from Delhi. The approved intake at Hindu College in 2020 was 752 UG students. 2021 also observed 827 UG students, and 956 UG students was observed in 2022. The institution houses a total of 4,205 students across all years in various programs. The number of faculties at the Hindu College stands at 218, and the faculty-to-student ratio stands at a fine 1:19. The Hindu College had a lower 81.82% in 2020, a much higher 89.97% in 2021, and a stellar graduation percentage of 99.23% in 2022. The placement percentage depicts a reduced 28.13% in 2020, a slightly higher 29.07% in 2021, and a fine 79.77% this year. The median salary across both 2020 and 2021 was 6 lakhs per annum, and a significant 6.4 lakhs per annum in 2022 was granted to place students. Now let's scour the NIRF score of Hindu College in different parameters. In teaching, learning and resources, the institution has scored 71.62%. In research and professional practices, the score is 32.2%. Graduation outcome has scored 88.52%, while outreach and inclusivity has scored 79.68%, and ultimately perception from the public has a score of 82.76%. This confers on the institution an overall score of 71.86% and the second rank on the NIRF table. At number 1, we have the phenomenal Miranda House, Delhi, which proves time and time again to be the showstopper in India. Miranda House has noticed quite an improvement. In 2020, there were 1,001 UG 3-year students and 54 UG 4-year students. In 2021, a slight escalation with 1,102 students in the UG 3-year and 55 UG students in the UG 4-year. The year 2022 witnessed a colossal 1,257 UG 3-year students and 63 seats for the UG 4-year. The institution houses an overall student strength of 5,065 students across all the years. The number of faculties housed at Miranda stands at 244, out of which a commendable 60.66% faculties are PhD holders. The faculty-to-student ratio stands at 1:20. Miranda House offers a graduation percentage with a steady rise from 87.9% in 2020 to 93.77% in 2021 and 93.83% in 2022. Miranda House has a rising placement percentage across the years. However, the percentages aren't impressive, with 20.83% in 2020, 49.18% in 2021, and 38.26% in 2022. Moving on to analyzing the salary package, in 2020 we notice a minimum of 4.2 lakhs per annum, a higher 5.6 lakhs per annum in 2021, and in 2022 the highest, which is 6 lakhs per annum. Miranda House has scored 78.35% in teaching, learning and resources, 56.66% in research and professional practices, 89.15% in graduation outcomes, 77.06% in outreach and inclusivity, and 81.58% in perception from the public. With these stunning scores, Miranda House makes an overall score of 78% and has been ranked at number 1 on the NIRF table. Now let's dive into a short and sweet analysis of where the colleges stand on various parameters. Considering all the institutions, Loyola College has the highest overall student strength. When we look at graduation percentage, the undisputed winner is Ramakrishna Mission Vidyamandira with a stellar 100%, depicting its excellence in churning out brilliant graduates. Now moving on to the most anticipated placement percentage, Lady Shri College for Women tops the list with yet another phenomenal 100%, throwing light on its ability to furnish ample opportunities to the brilliant minds there. Finally, the crowd favorite, median salary. The unparalleled winner here is yet again Lady Shri College for Women with a smashing package of 6.5 lakhs per annum. So there you have it, all the nitty-gritties about the top 10 arts and science colleges in India. Soon we will upload a detailed comparison review of these top institutions and other top 10 institutions in various segments in our upcoming videos. What other interesting top 10s would you like to see? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and for more information, visit us at collegesuggest.com.